What's up? This is Marwan. I am near City Hall, and what I want to talk about today is the concept of the point of indifference and how to reach it. So the reason why I talk about this is because recently, as I've been making a lot more videos and I've been more consistent at that, I've realized that I've made my own standard, and as long as I meet my own standard, I don't really care, and I'm just kind of like comfortable enough to put it out there and publish it and show it to the world and give everyone access to it. So that doesn't mean that like I don't care and I'm not accepting feedback. I'm still accepting feedback, but I'm still willing to improve. I still want to improve. I'm still trying to find ways to improve my own videos. But the more I do it, the more consistent I am with it. You eventually reach a point where you're indifferent about it. And right now, I've reached that point where I'm kind of indifferent about it. And as long as I meet my own standard, I'm okay with it, and I just decide to publish it. Now, you always want to increase your standard as you want to go on. It's not like you want to have a low standard and you want to keep it that way. You always want to increase it. But the idea here is as long as you meet it, you're okay with it, and you're willing to put it out there. And I want to use the example of public speaking. So when you first start out public speaking, naturally, like pretty much everyone is going to be very nervous about it. You're going to be like, I hope people like me. I hope I don't embarrass myself. I hope, I'm not super nervous. And you're going to be obviously super nervous about it. And you're not going to be focused too much on the content as much as basically not embarrassing yourself. And over time, as you go on, if you are lucky enough to actually have the opportunity to do public speaking often, over time you'll reach that point of indifference. Well, you'll stop caring about what other people think. You'll stop seeking for other people's approval and instead have your own standard. And as long as you meet your own standard, like for example, if you are enthusiastic enough, if you're going through a lot of vocal frequencies when you talk, and if you present your content in a very confident way, and as long as you meet that type of standard, you're kind of okay with it, and of course you're still open to getting feedback. And I want to contrast that example by using the example of dating. So as you go on a lot of dates, initially, it's kind of normal if you don't go out for a lot of dates. It's kind of normal to think you want to impress the person. You really hope the person likes you. You really hope that the person approves of you. But as you go out on more dates, you'll eventually come to a point where you'll be a lot more indifferent about it and be focused on, as long as you're being yourself, as long as you're making your own jokes, as long as you're vibing the way that you always do, you're okay with it. And whatever happens after that, you're kind of indifferent about it. That doesn't mean that, you don't really care about the person and it's like, oh, I don't care if she likes me or not. I don't care if she likes me or not. You still want to be yourself and learn to express yourself. But at the same time, you don't want to be too kind of nervous about it and care too much about whether or not the person likes you and how you can change your personality and change yourself in order to fit the other person's ideal person. So, just to wrap it up, as long as you take consistent amounts of massive action, eventually you're going to reach a point where you stop seeking for other people's approval and instead seek your own approval as long as you meet your own standard. And it's only when you've reached that point when you'll realize that, okay, now you've reached that point of indifference. So that's all I want to talk about today. And on that note, until next time.